So we don't have a PowerPoint on this particular topic, but it is in your Newton homework, and I did want to show you at least an approach to how you're going to do this as you look at some of the Newton problems. So you're asked, you're given the function 5/3 x minus 5, right? And the graph of it is here. And I ask you to use geometric formulas to evaluate the following definite integral. The integral from 4 to 6 of 5/3 x minus 5 dx. All right, so here's what we should know by now. Okay, and if you don't know that, if you don't know this, no better time than the present to figure out what we have going on here. Now, that was not a very pretty line. Let me take a minute, see if I can get a better drawing of what we've got right here. So we're focused on the interval from 4 to 6. Okay, if you look at this graph, this is just kind of a rough sketch of it. Okay, we have this, right? And it crosses the x-axis at 3, and then we pick up with the interval from 4 over here to 6. Okay, so if I'm looking at the interval from 4 to 6, I'm really focused on just this shape right here, right? So if you're not sure what this shape is, it's a trapezoid, right? It looks like this, and we've got this guy right here. So to find the area of this thing, we're going to use what we know about the area of a trapezoid. It's 1/2 the height times base 1 plus base 2. Well, we can identify the height as the distance between the two bases. Okay, so here's base 1 and here is base 2. Our job now is to figure out what is the height of these things, right? What's the height of base 1? What's the height of base 2? And I'm going to use the formula that I was given, right? I'm asked to integrate 5/3 x minus 5 dx. I'm asked to find out what this thing's equal to. Well, this expression is going to equal the area of this trapezoid. So I need to know what is the height here and what's the height there. That's going to give me my base 1 and base 2 values. So to figure out what our height is at 4, I'm just going to plug 4 into this thing. I'm going to have 5/3 times 4 minus 5. So this is 20/3. And watch this. If I subtract 5, it's the same as subtracting 15/3. Okay? So base 1 here turns out to be 5/3. This is going to give us a decimal value, and I'll show you what the answer here is in just a few minutes. So I can fill in what I already know. I know that the height, in other words, the distance between these two bases, is going to be 2. And I'm going to multiply by 5/3 minus, okay, so whatever we get when we plug 6 into this thing. So we'll have 5/3 times 6 minus 5. This is going to be 30/3 minus 15/3. Okay, well, 30/3 minus 15/3 is 15/3 or 5. Right, now I'm going to leave it 15/3 right here just because it'll make my calculations a little easier inside the parentheses there. So I'm going to have 1/2 times 2, that's just 1, right? 5/3 minus 15/3 is negative 10/3. So it looks like the area is going to equal 10/3. So again, area is just positive, right? Did I mess up somewhere here? You know what, I did mess up because my formula says to add, so you guys please forgive me. I had minus on the brain because of this. The area formula for a trapezoid has a plus sign right here. So you guys pardon me. Now, one thing you may say is, well, you should have known something was wrong when you subtracted and got a negative. And you're right, and that's what kind of got my attention. However, we're going to look at some problems later on where we have the area, and sometimes that area turns out to be negative. And so when we're talking about the area is kind of like distance. It can't ever really be negative. So that's why I ignored that. However, my problem wasn't that. My problem was just I didn't pay attention to what the formula was. So we should get 20/3 right here. Okay? And in fact, that's what our answer is. So I did want to give you just kind of an idea of what these problems are going to look like. Hopefully you'll pardon my ignorance there, my incompetence as I went through that problem. Again, the reason I was adding right here is because it said to do so in the formula. I had subtraction on the brain and subtracted those two values. Good luck with this homework. Let me know if I can help you out with anything.